Okay. Recording in progress. That is the wrong camera. And there is Art, who we missed last week. And hello,
Anybody there?
Mr. Art. Oh,
Anybody there?
no,
Just us chickens.
no, we're not here.
Okay.
There's him.
Just raccoons.
So far it's just us.
I made TV. When there's nobody else here, I make TV. I'm a popular guy, you know.
Okay.
Rumor has it.
Okay. That does not have.
I see something across the bottom of my screen that says AI companion
Yes.
and another one that says whiteboard. You happen to know what that's about?
Well, the whiteboard we've played with before, and that's the thing that we could create a whiteboard and
Then you can draw on it, right?
yeah. Can you see it?
Oh yeah.
I don't really know what I'm doing.
Well, join the club. Oh, cool. An ellipse.
And let's see if I can make another one.
That's a circle. Well, more or less. It's kind of ellipsy. There's another one.
And we'll give him a triangle for a nose, maybe. Oh, that's not exactly right. We'll have to move
Well, a little off center there.
and we'll give him a hexagon for a mouth.
A hexagon for a mouth. Okay.
We've let them know you're here, but they seem to be ignoring you. Oh.
That's nice of it. Well, I made a very bad face.
Not too bad.
The meeting is being recorded. Oh, okay. I made it that far.
Okay. Yeah, it says recording on my screen.
The virtual background is taking longer than expected to load. Enable mask here. I did away with that.
I don't see any virtual background anyplace.
Okay, connecting to audio. Phone audio by a computer. I guess I should do something like that.
So I saw online that you guys had a private meeting last week.
Yeah. Our friend Art was a no-show.
Well, I'll tell you what your friend Art was doing. I was recovering from my COVID booster that I'd had the previous day. And I had a substantial fever, a splitting headache, lots of body aches, and I was just curled up in a fetal position in my bed at home and waiting for it to go away, and which it did in about 24 hours.
Mm,
Well, dang,
Pardon?
dang. Should we take our COVID shots?
Uh, you know, everybody tosses the dice themselves, as far as I'm concerned. As long as I'm virtual, I don't really care. But Barbara and I have been pretty careful about both flu shots and COVID shots. So I got started on the flu shots back in the 90s because I lost a sister to the fall uh, flu shot.
yeah.
These things tend to be kind of personal, so to speak. Hey, what happened to the lights? The lights are back.
Yeah, they may be
What?
slow, but they get her done around here.
Yeah, we don't have any ambient light going on.
We lost our aviance.
Well, didn't they have some lamps in there 2 weeks
They're
ago?
still here.
Hmm.
They just didn't turn them on today.
So, but they didn't have the overhead light on at all 2 weeks ago.
They didn't work.
Yeah,
Oh,
so Barry said that controller thing over there needed to be reprogrammed for the lights or
These are
something.
different lights here. These are not fluorescents anymore.
They are. You're right. Those are different lights.
They're LEDs.
well, they're probably LEDs.
They're brighter. It's brighter in here.
But there's no, and normally with fluorescents, you see 2 white stripes or 4 white stripes. You see no stripes in these.
Yeah, that's so there probably are, in fact, LEDs.
An LED panel or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We're first class now.
Okay.
I did know. I do think it's brighter in here. I think that's a dimmer.
It doesn't say don't touch me,
It doesn't say don't touch.
but the light's blinking over here. That's really weird.
Oh, that's for.
Yeah, that's for the backlights. Okay. Now, if you notice the lights blinking on that thing, blue, white, green.
Yeah. I touched it. I
Oh,
probably.
what about that upper one?
That's the thermostat.
Oh,
Says it's 70 in here.
oh. So you're looking better, huh? Art, you feeling good?
Yeah, I'm completely recovered from it at this point. What happens, and this has happened for all but the first COVID shot I had, was for about 6 hours after the shot, everything is fine. And then in someplace between 6 and 8 hours, I start to feel really bad. And this time around, I had the shot about 4 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. When I got up early Thursday morning, man, I felt like somebody had worked me over with a bat or whatever. I was really achy. I checked my temperature, and I had about 3.5 degrees of temperature, which is a lot for a guy my age. And I was just aching everywhere. And 24 hours later, by noon on Friday, pretty much everything was gone. And that is my routine for the COVID shots so far, except for the first one. The flu shot doesn't bother me at all. I get a little bit of maybe a little ache or a little warm spot on my arm where the injection went in. The good news is that I know since I get a reaction to it, they got it in okay. So it's just my
Zoom blew up.
pardon?
My Zoom blew up. I have to redo it, I guess. So you're
I
looking back.
changed mine about 2 weeks ago to the most recent one, and nothing showed up the first time around, but now I'm seeing today this AI companion
Mm-hmm.
and the whiteboard. Now we had a whiteboard a long time ago
Long
because
time. Yeah.
I remember teaching on it in 2020 in the beginning of COVID, and there was a whiteboard there, and it wasn't very user friendly, but there was a whiteboard there. But
This whiteboard isn't entirely friendly either, but it works. It
Well, I'm using PWA this time.
it doesn't it's about on par for most whiteboards I've seen. They've changed this too. This used to be
what is this?
more square.
Yeah, it's rotated some.
The outlet in the table that you can't see.
It's rotated some. It used to be where the outlet was like this. Now it's at an angle. There you go. Now it's back.
Okay, I
But
fixed
you
it.
look under there. Don't look under there. It's scary under there. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I had a waiver strip or something up under there before.
Ah. I've got a section that says notes, whiteboard, reactions, AI companion, summary.
Now, where is that? Along the bottom edge?
Along the bottom, yeah. And for the longest time, I thought AI companion was just for whoever was doing the presenting, because nobody else had it, and everybody else said they were updated. So I thought it was, just for whoever was doing that. But since you've got it,
Yeah, I've got it.
Doesn't mean that's true anymore.
So I have two new icons across the bottom. On the far right is one that says whiteboard, and about pretty close to dead center, I see AI companion. As a matter of fact, it is dead center. I got, well, not really.
Yeah, it's a little to the right of center.
Yeah. So I guess they're continuing to improve it.
I don't know if adding AI isn't improving.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Oh, they got Pepsi back in the machine again.
No, Pepsi's they got Pepsi's back in the refrigerator at home.
Oh, this isn't out of the machine in the library?
Mm-mm.
This is payola here. You should know that. Payola.
But I thought that you used to get them out of the machine there up in the front of the library.
Only if I forgot it or I was out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then they got stinky on us too and started issuing those out for $1.50 or whatever they are. But they were giving us those. So yeah. But I've wised up and got better at providing payola.
Your computer has froze up again, Jim.
It's frozen again? It looks alive. Let's see.
Well, unless it's me.
I can see you.
I don't think it's me.
My meeting presented. Oh, everything's back now.
Okay. Oh, it did. It did say the internet was unstable. I did see it. So last week, or not last week, the week before, right at the end of the meeting, the
Yeah.
internet became so unstable. I couldn't get the meeting to come back. I couldn't get anything to come back.
Yeah, I
Art
wondered where you,
disappeared.
I wondered where you disappeared to.
Everything just disappeared. It just Zoom shut itself down, and I'm like, okay, well, it's 2 minutes before we have to go, so okay, I guess we're done. But see, it's unstable again. I think Art froze. Something ain't right, Mr.
Huh.
Jim.
Yeah, I'm not moving. You're moving.
Okay,
Yeah, it said the recording stopped and then the recording's in process.
well,
Hmm.
it did again. It became unstable. Zoom quit, but it came back this time. So
Okay,
Yeah, you guys just froze up solid, both of you.
2 weeks ago, though, it didn't come back, and it was like 2 minutes till the end of the meeting, and I just said, "Okay, meeting's over."
all right, let me try
Yeah.
to break it again. See if this breaks it.
I don't want to break it. Are you trying to cast a, or
Okay, I just went to another screen. Did that break it? Everything okay?
I can see both of you moving.
Yeah, everybody's it's still alive. So what happened was I tabbed to another screen, which I do all the time. And it went wacko, but it seemed to not go wacko this time. Let's see if I can go back. Yeah, it went back. But it lived through it. It lived. So
Well,
that didn't appear to
you
be.
you going to a different screen should not make my internet unstable.
I agree. But remember, I'm using that ADC or whatever the heck it is app. It's whatever it is. Or maybe it's not acting nicely, not playing nice.
The PWA.
Well, now this is good. I get to see two pictures of me. That's really neat.
Toys.
Works for me.
Toys.
Ah, yes.
Oh, okay.
Could wait a few more minutes, see if anybody else. Vicente has a habit of showing up after I'm done showing toys.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me do stuff then. Can I share my screen?
you should be able. I mean, I
Okay.
hope it doesn't blow up everything.
That's good to try it out. Okay, there we go. Share screen. Okay. Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta do stuff.
Yeah, we're short today. We got things to do and people to see.
Oh, is this one of the weeks when we're only an hour and a half rather than 2 hours?
Yep, 6:30. So we're short today.
Okay.
And I happened to remind the librarian that we were short today, so she knows it.
And we'll see if somebody's in line today. Because they've done that to us before. Okay, it says I'm viewing the screen, but
There it is.
there it is.
It's just slow. Is that the Chromebook I gave you, or is that still the
That's
old?
the other one. The other Chromebook, interesting thing, and maybe you can tell me, the screen is a higher resolution than this,
Uh-huh.
but it makes my head hurt.
Makes your head hurt?
Yeah, I mean, almost immediately I get a headache. I've gotten better at it. It's getting better.
Oh,
Yeah.
I never had that problem with it.
Yeah, it loaded the final version. Yeah, but yeah, it does have a nice, very crisp screen and seems to interact well. It's
Yeah.
well behaved.
I would start using it because that Chromebook that you got there might.
You think it's dying?
Well, definitely on the older Chromebook side.
Yeah.
Not that the Chromebook that I gave you is new by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely newer than that.
Okay.
And it got its last update in April. They're talking about Chromebook Flex or OS Flex, possibly being ported to actually support Chromebooks now.
Okay, what does that mean in English? What does that mean?
Well, Chrome OS Flex was the one that was supposed to be able to be, it was basically turning old laptops into Chromebooks, like old laptops, like ancient.
Yeah, well, yeah. They kind of did that anyway.
Well,
You could put Chrome on an old laptop. Like that, easy peasy, and it worked pretty good.
Flex, you could put Flex on it
Oh,
fairly well, but they're talking about porting Flex to support old Chromebooks
oh,
now. So
Okay.
it would be an updated version of Chrome OS that doesn't have Linux or Android support. And instead of using Chrome, it uses Chromium.
okay.
Which is hard to tell the difference.
Except for a few things, there's a few things.
So next week is virtual again. In November, we play the first and third week again. Yeah. And December we're good, and January we're good. So we're kind of getting better. And we're gonna pay attention to who shows up at 6:30, because I really want to know if somebody does show up, because they have been known to schedule it and not show up.
Oh, you mean who shows up to follow us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
6:30 just seems like an odd time to schedule a meeting, but
I've done it before. It was at all girls group.
yeah.
They could join us.
How you doing, Steve? You're looking better. You're getting used to your medication and stuff.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm hoping so.
Okay.
They raised my metformin again. Not metformin, Manjaro.
Ooh. They got so many names on TV. I think I see Manjaro.
Manjaro is an injection,
Oh,
and it's weird. Makes me feel old. It does.
weird. That fits you to a T.
Yeah. Metformin, I felt fine on. My blood sugar was higher than it should be, but I was ready to go hiking, camping, whatever. Now I wake up, I ache, I get dizzy when I stand up. Never used to.
Mm.
And I'm cold. I hate that part.
The what?
I'm cold.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
just
yeah.
feel cold.
Yeah. Now welcome to my game. There you go. And what did I take this that Gail got some extra over the counter stuff, CoQ10. That's over the counter stuff.
Yep.
And I took some of that just for giggles. It's supposed to be good with the stuff that I take. And I stopped being cold. I was cold in a room at 73 degrees. I was cold. And I took that, started taking that stuff, and I was fine. I'm going like, what the heck is that? Okay. Go. Yeah, go break. Bam,
Didn't hurt either.
Go, bam, bam, go.
No.
Bam, bam, bam.
Oops, I forgot I had it.
You got that.
I have the murder knife.
Oh, I forgot to bring the set of tools that I had bought. That is a heck of a.
It was $12. You use it camping.
I bought a set of quote unquote security bits, $22, 360 bits.
Dang, that's a lot.
I think that's what it said it had in it. And believe it or not, I still couldn't get one of the screws out of the battery, but I went bigger, and bigger seemed to be able to
Better. Oh,
get the four that we couldn't get out.
That's cool.
So I don't think they are bigger. I just think bigger
Worked.
worked.
they have a military version of the Galaxy phone, the S20, which is supposed to interface with a lot of military stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but you might be interested in something like that. Military phone.
I have an interest in a little camera that I saw recently. It's a $200 IR camera with a USB-C connection. Plugs right into the phone. It's about that big. Cute little thing. Pretty high resolution as IR phones go. And 30 hertz refresh rate, which is better than most.
It's better than your eye can fall.
Over 60 by 380. You're talking about, yeah,
Not that high, more like
120 by 360 by 120.
240 by 320 or something.
I've been seeing those, yeah.
But in IR, that's pretty good. The FLIR cameras are that.
My Cinti's waiting.
So you
Uh,
Oh, good. Yeah, we
Oh,
can.
here he is.
I was going to bring that set in so you can see it. It's not just security bits. It's got the sponger and the squeeger and the
spudgers are surprisingly useful.
and it all comes in a little compact case. It's a little bit bigger than I would have thought, but
Where'd you get it, Leroy?
Amazon.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to replace the battery on my tablet, or wanting to, rebuild the battery, and it's got Y head screws on it, which are a pain to deal with. Even when you've got the right bit, they're a pain to deal with. And they're down pretty deep down inside the cover of the battery anyway. So you need like an extra long tip. But Steve had one that we tried, and we got one of the screws out. And we couldn't get 4 of them out. And there were 2 more. There were like six of them all together or something.
Yeah, I thought we had gotten most of them out.
We got the 3 on the top, I think,
Yeah.
out. And there were 4 or 5 around the bottom. It's an insane amount of screws to hold a battery together, when they could have just pressure fitted and done with it.
Well, I don't know. You don't want just snap tight on something that might be sliding down the side of a mountain.
Yeah, but it would be on the inside of the thing, not on the outside of the thing. And anyway, like I said, I actually to get part of the screws out that you couldn't get out, I went with a bigger bit, and that actually worked. But when I got it out, I was like, this bit doesn't fit. How did this work? But the one that I didn't know existed and you had found, that thing's not budging. It's not budging no matter what I do to it.
Well, I got a tool that will get it out.
I got a drill.
Yep.
That is
Got some nice shiny brand new carbide bits and a drill press.
the weirdest thing about that tablet is ever since we threatened it to rebuild the battery, it is charged and it's taken a full charge and it's blinked the light and everything has been perfectly copacetic and happy about it.
Cool.
So either it is flagged that one of the cells is bad and it's not full charged, or it just doesn't want to be taken apart.
Yeah. If you want them, I can get you a bunch of 16,850s or whatever, 18,650s.
You know, I've got a bunch of them at the house.
We're replacing batteries and servers at work, and the RAID controllers use those HP stuff, and they look good. I don't know. I haven't screwed with them.
I've actually got was a cheap thing I bought years ago that's supposed to recondition them. They'll take them to a full charge, or to what they say is a full charge, and then discharge them and cycle it 2 or 3 times. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
These are lithium-ion batteries or what?
Yeah, but I've got this. It was a cheap thing from China that I said there's no way it's actually going to work, and it actually does do something. It charges the batteries up to where they're like 95%, and then it'll discharge them, and then it'll charge them again. I don't really know what it's doing. I know it's doing something. I'm not real sure what it's doing though. It'll also do that to NiCads. You got to flip the switch. It'll only do lipos or NiCads. It won't do both at the same time. Since nobody uses NiCads anymore.
Yeah, I gotta say, NiCads were a disaster.
Lipos are much better. But I bought a bunch of lithium-ion batteries. Some of them are still brand new in the package. I've never used them. I'm like sitting there going, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, I wonder if those are still good, because it has been years since I even looked at them.
Oh. I turned the cat doorbell off. I noticed Foofer was at the front door.
I want in. It's raining. I want in. So I don't have a demo or anything. I have adventures in stuff not working.
Oh,
So
Okay.
so what's the red robot there in the middle?
that is a Pulu chassis. Vicente will recognize it real fast.
I have a box full of them.
I have bunches of these red chassis because we got them dirt cheap for like $10 or $12 a piece. This is an M5 Atom, which the Atom is, a small micro controller.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the Motion, the Atom Motion, which has 2 motor drivers and 4 servo drivers. But I don't think you can use the servos at the same time as the motor. I think it's that sort of deal. Then it adds a serial port and a GPIO port. So you can actually expand. And then the Atom has an I2C port on it. So there are some expandability to it, but it's not insanely expandable. This, right now, it will connect to my Wi-Fi at the house, and I can control it with this M5 stick and this joystick. But I'm using MQTT to actually send the information from the joystick to the robot. And all that works fine. The problem is pushing this forward doesn't necessarily make the robot go forward. It kind of makes the robot either spin or go backwards or just randomly do stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's my feeling. So that's an analog joystick. If it was a digital, just some switches or something, I could probably hit a button and make it, send a command, go forward, and it would go forward, or a command, go backward, and it would go backward. But I think because of the way, I think it's my fault. I think I'm doing something funky. I'm sending both the X and the Y, and I'm trying to convert that into wheel speeds, which I don't think is the right way to do that. I think it's my fault. Anyway, that's one of the things that I worked on last week, and it's not completely working. And it won't connect. Never mind. I can't show you. It won't connect. I can't show you the joystick even. The joystick, the screen on it. So the robot will send back that it's moving, and the screen will say moving. And I had a ultrasonic sensor on it, just sitting on it, and it would send the pings back so you could look and see how close it was to something. If you weren't paying attention. But that, so this is a Zoomy, and he's an educational kit that I got off of eBay. It's got a Raspberry Pi in it, and a motor board, and an Arduino Uno, and the OLED screen. The Arduino actually controls the OLED. The Arduino actually controls the motors. The Raspberry Pi does all the heavy work, and it just died. Oh,
And
it didn't matter. It didn't work anyway.
because of the battery.
It's because of the battery. It says it's 62%. I don't know what his problem is. Anyway, so it's got a web interface that starts up, and you get a whole bunch of lessons on Python. This thing's programmed in Python, and you could drive it around and do all that. And it's got a camera on front. So if you remember, several months ago, I had talked about putting a prism on it so that it could look down. That actually kind of works. My problem is my map is too small, and my April tags are too big. So that's my fault again. Actually, if I raise it up about here, it works fine. It reads every one of the April tags.
You have the prism upside down.
No, I don't.
It's looking straight in because it's flat. It's looking straight into the surface. Then it reflects up, and it's reflecting back down off of the flat top.
Well, that's how they were in the glasses.
Okay.
So the flat edge goes here, and actually they were pointed up so you could. These were mountain climber glasses, so you could see the what was above you.
Were they turn? Okay, weird.
But these are it's the exact same prism. The mountain climber glasses cost $8. The ones that look down were $15, and it's the exact same prism. They just turned them over.
Nice.
Exact same thing. Anyway, yes, if I hold it up about yay high, it can see these April tags, which means these April tags are too big. And if
You
it's
need
sitting
to-
on the ground,
You need to print this half scale.
yeah, if I put
Print.
one of my old tags, one of my test tags,
Smaller.
and positioned it just right, it'll read it no problem. So that's the size I need, or maybe even a little bit smaller than that. But I just made it too big, and I didn't make the squares big enough, but it's pretty close. I think it will work if I just rejigger it. But anyway, this is part of the indoor navigation thing that I have been working on forever. And it is one of those deals where it's 2 steps forward and a bunch of steps backwards. There's a little Raspberry Pi Zero in there. It's the original Zero. It's not a Zero 2. I don't remember what this thing cost, but it was not a cheap toy. And it was meant for they sold a map of like a road, and it could read road signs and stuff. There's a program on it that'll let it read road signs and that kind of stuff. And I just decided, no, I'm going to make it do other stuff because I want to. But I found, instead of the tape that you suggested, which was the foam tape, which was this was right next to it. It's clear tape.
Oh, cool.
So just a block of.
Does it have a hole in the middle?
Nope. No, it's clear. You can.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any problem actually. Once it sees, the right size, it'll read it no problem. So it's just a matter of getting everything lined up the way it's supposed to be. But this also has I don't know if it's got an encoder on it or if it's I think it's just a 360-degree servo. Anyway, you could tell it in the Python code to turn 90 degrees and it will go 90 degrees. And it turns 90 degrees. So it will be really nice for something like this where I need to go, okay, I want to go to space 33, and it'll go, well, I'm at space 38.
Cool. Does it have to move back and forth to know where the wheels are?
No,
It knows what way is up on those Aruka markers?
I haven't quite got that far yet.
Okay.
The April tags, they do have like a 3D kind
Orientation.
of orientation thing. So yes, it can tell you if it's facing left or right of the marker. So yes, it can, and with the LiDAR bot, the bigger map that I had and everything, I had it pretty good. It was pretty accurate about telling which direction it was facing. So it should be easy enough to take the Arduino code and figure out how to make it work for Python. Because all the math has been done. It's just a matter of what math do I need over here? Because it's all math. It's all math. I'm not proficient enough with Python to do it like that. I'm going to have to sit there and go, okay.
I have converted a few of my bash scripts to Python. And I will give that they seem to be a little smaller, but they absolutely do not flow for me the way bash does.
My biggest big
Okay, they're back.
Okay.
oh, did we lose you again?
We lost you, that's for
Yes.
sure. You weren't moving at all.
Okay.
You were the last.
Saw a message on the screen that said we were unstable again, so
We're kind of
Yep.
now, I think.
my biggest problem with Python now is not really Python. It's the indentations that it needs. And it's really, really flipping picky about it.
Yeah, and you can't mix spaces and tabs and
It's just, why was that a thing? Why can't I just put a thing on the end of the line that says this is the end of the line? You know, colon, that means
Yeah.
move to the next thing.
I use colons. That's
C colon. There we're done. Move to the
Okay,
Okay,
it restarted again.
okay.
yeah, it said the recording stopped and then the recording restarted.
Yep, 100% restarted.
it's not us, it's
It's the library.
library. Because I've got a command line open to one of my machines and it locked up on me.
Okay.
So sorry about that, but it's the library. It's not us. So my last toy before it decides to corrupt again. These are actually kind of cool. I haven't got a chance to play with them yet. That is a 2.4 gigahertz radar. Let's see if I can get a better picture. Not really. It's not really.
Yeah, a little further out, I would say. There we go.
So that's a 2.4 gigahertz radar with Bluetooth on board.
Ooh, also 2.4 gigahertz.
Also 2.4 gigahertz. Maybe it's 24 gigahertz.
For radar, that would make more sense.
Maybe it's
That
20.
is
Anyway, it's got RX and TX, so you can hook it up to a microcontroller. It's got a signal out, which is just a digital signal. It's either on or off. This is a human presence sensor. This cost $2.30.
Okay.
And I have not had a chance to play with this yet. But
Where'd you get it?
AliExpress.
Okay.
It was more for shipping than it was for this, so of course I bought 5 of them. Well, I actually have a an idea in mind. So one of the output strings is a distance identifier. So not only will it tell you if something has walked in front of it, it will tell you how far away that something is, as long as that something is moving. So guess what? We're going to mount 4 of them up above a robot. And we're going to try to have the robot figure out where it is using triangulation.
Why not put them on the,
Yes.
I thought about that. Actually, I did. Actually why I got a fifth one. But if these are sensing things that have to move, then
Oh, yeah.
then if the robot is sitting still, in theory,
Yeah.
it won't do anything. So the robot actually, it's an idea. These things weren't designed to do this. It's just
so what were they designed for?
turning
Lights?
on and off lights.
Really?
Yeah,
But, yeah, they have them built into flood lamps now.
I thought they
I
were
got, in
all
fact, I
IR.
got some. I sent them back because I wanted dusk to dawn, and then he sent me infrared, not infrared,
Motion
radar,
sensing.
radars, motion sensors to turn the spotlight on.
yeah. So apparently, according to the specs, it can sense finger movements. That's incredible. I mean, supposedly it can sense centimeters of distance. So
Oh, this is Piso revisited.
yeah. If my idea, if it doesn't work, I spent $2, $4, $6, $8, $10 plus shipping, $3 shipping, $4 shipping, something like that.
Does it, it has a distance?
One of the outputs
Does
is
it have
supposed to be
speed?
assist. I don't think it does speed.
What's the furthest distance?
I would have to look again. It was moderately decent.
I'm thinking about, does it look at cars? Can it see cars?
Apparently it can see small animals. I don't know if it has to have a heat signature or not.
No, it's radar. Shouldn't care about heat.
Yeah, but they claim that this is specifically for human detection, not for doing anything that I'm wanting to do.
Yeah.
Of course, not. But the Bluetooth in it, apparently the home, whatever that home automation project is. So you plug this in, the home thing will just pick it right up as being a Bluetooth device and be able to control it. So these things may not be completely useless anyway. But yes, my thought was mounting these up and pointing them at a robot and seeing if we can figure out where on a map the robot was. And
Yeah, key being pointing at. If it's moving around, pointing at.
well, if there's
But yeah, if you mount them on your robot and you start to you just move the robot forward, then you can tell where you are.
maybe
Yeah.
you need at least 4 of them.
And the output is in, what is it outputting? It gives you velocity.
I've got the
ASCII?
spec book at home. It's a hex. It gives you a bunch of hex
Oh, okay.
stuff.
Okay, it's going to give you binary values. Okay,
on the output.
that's easy to work with. That makes the math easy.
In theory, it's a bunch of hex codes that, but I haven't had a chance to play with them yet to even see even close.
That could, if they do cars, that would be interesting.
But they're supposed to turn lights on. So when you go into some bathrooms, you know how the lights come on automatically. It's not always PIR or infrared or anything. Now they're using radar to do it.
Yeah, they had some built into flood lamps. I had one, and I sent it back. 'Cause that's not what I wanted. But that's cool radar, because it's better than the motion detection crap. Because the light, sun comes up and shadows and all that crap. Radar is definitely better than the old motion detector crap.
Well, the 5 gigahertz,
Echo Alpha on.
What was that?
that was
That was Mike.
Mike over there.
Echo Alpha on.
He's talking to his Alexia.
Echo. Alpha.
Mike, Sticks Larkin is back.
But there were 5 gigahertz. I've got a 5 gigahertz one that you can tap directly into the IF and get all kinds of information off of it. Yeah, it's cool. But they used those for door openers years ago. Those were the ones that always set people's radar detectors off because they were in the L band or something. They were in a band that the radar detectors used.
Even better.
But as far as I know, there's nobody has tried to tap into the IF off of this, and even if you could, this chip is so small, it would take a big old microscope to see the pins. Oh yeah, I'm not soldering that thing.
The handheld radar guns should be getting cheap. Or
Looks like it has an LED on the face of it.
Yeah,
Makes noise if something's moving, I assume.
the LED is supposed to come on if it's triggered. And I'm guessing that the LED is tied to the digital out pin that is either on or off.
Tiny little microphone.
Anytime you use so. With Bluetooth.
Wonder where the antenna for that is.
Yeah. What I thought too.
Also curious about that little black chip. It looks like a choke, which would make sense. The thing probably would have something to
Yeah,
noise.
that looks like a choke. That looks like a regulator. That looks like a crystal. It looks like there's a couple of different crystals on it.
You can figure out what the frequency is by measuring those pads.
Yeah.
They're quarter wave antennas.
So, DP, what would DP say?
Decimal point.
I want to remember my radar theory. DP stands for something. There might actually be more, might be able to get more out of this than what they say. Because there's a DM and a DP.
Motion and presence.
But that's what it is. Once it's a presence, a human presence detector. Yeah, I don't know where the Bluetooth antenna is for this thing. And I was shocked to find out that for $2, not only is it a radar, it has Bluetooth on it. But there's plenty of people that have gone, yeah, it just works. You just plug it in and you find it. There's an app for your phone that will tell you all kinds of stuff that this thing can do. I'm like, okay. So maybe that little thing is the antenna for the Bluetooth. There's a little, it looks like a crystal, or not a crystal, a ceramic
resonator. Yeah, the Bluetooth antennas are usually about an inch. There isn't an inch on that.
the whole thing's an inch. I don't know. I think it's Bluetooth 5 too, so it's low energy stuff. Maybe no, they're not. They can't be using one of those pads because those pads are coming right off of the radar chip. I don't know. I just found them interesting and for $2, well worth. It's worth spending $2 just to put voltage on them and see what happens. I'll microwave my cat. Microwave the neighbor's cat. Go away, cats. Our neighbor, I woke up the other day, went to the car, and our neighbor had a dead bird sitting on their step. They feed the strays, and my guess is one of the strays was excited that it got food, and that was the present for the owner. The thank you for feeding.
Yeah, they bring you gifts. Oh yeah, I had a bird this week. Yeah.
One of my neighbors feeds the squirrels and pigeons. And he's
Oh,
usually
that's
got
nice.
like 4 or 5 squirrels out there, and I've got a squirrel chewing on my house. Like, and I don't like pigeons. Yesterday or day before, I was on my way to work. I pass his house. I don't see any pigeons or squirrels, but there's a big peregrine falcon sitting up on top of the chimney, looking awful satisfied.
Just waiting. Yeah. So one of my neighbors, he's got one of those fake owls and sitting on the porch. And I'm just curious what kind of problem he's trying to solve, because I've never seen anything other than cats. And my downstairs neighbor, she feeds the cats, which is fine. But she had a present. She had a nice dead bird. I think one of the cats was very hungry and very happy that it got food.
My mom used to feed a cat. She called it napalm. Come up with that. And then I saw the cat. It was a rough looking little kitten.
I actually think all the cats in my neighborhood have owners, but they're all let out, and they're like community cats. Everybody takes care of them. But so I have a lot of stuff to work on this week, and hopefully I'll actually get something accomplished this week other than 3 half projects.
That was interesting. Let me try that again.
Wow.
It's close.
Wait, did we?
We haven't blown up yet. I'm working on it.
Every time somebody shares the screen, I lose the chat window and the participants window. That is just what did they do to Zoom? Art, I don't know if they're making Zoom better or not.
Oh, you might be right.
They're definitely doing things with Zoom. I just don't know if it's better.
Okay, here we go. I can do it. Okay. You're talking about your birds. These are my birds. You got nothing. You know what those are?
Turkey buzzards.
Yeah, vultures across the street. I kept seeing a shadow in the yard. I said, what the heck is that? Vultures.
Yeah, turkey buzzards or turkey vault, whatever you call
Why
it.
you worry about stuff like this.
Stay away.
There are vultures out in the front yard.
Where did vultures come from?
Well, certainly in Milford, we got tons of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're all over the place.
You see them up there circling, and you see a bunch of them circling, and there's probably a dead deer down there or some
Yeah,
other.
we have turkeys outside.
Well, those are turkeys, not turkey buzzards.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a raccoon, actually. I didn't really get far close enough to see, because we had 2 raccoons this every morning at about 6:48. But I'm smart now. I've got a camera out by the barn that alarms on motion. So I irritate them, as I do everyone. But you know, the rest is raccoons. So it's not.
Those are pretty good size.
There are a lot outside.
Yeah, I thought they were turkeys for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Saw a wild turkey the other day. And my grandkids wouldn't believe that I saw it. My grandkids kept saying, "No, you didn't, Papa. You never saw a turkey."
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah,
I was
we
out in the
even here in
country.
California.
Was out in the country, and yes, I saw a turkey, and it was walking down the road. Perfectly happy.
Well, there is a turkey season in Ohio. I know that because my brother-in-law used to
I was
Go-
down in Denver.
go
Oh.
boy hunting for them.
2 bear cubs and a mama bear.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
At one point, they had been about 20 feet away from us. But by the time I got my camera, I got my phone.
Wow.
Okay.
2 little bear cubs and a mama bear.
Wow, look at that.
Wow.
Where is this, Steve?
Gatlinburg.
Oh, okay.
We were there last week.
So
I love Gatlinburg.
Isn't that-
Yeah. And look at the trash cans up there are super heavy duty.
Actually, I was kind of surprised. The cans themselves weren't much, but they were in a cage. But the cage was locked with just a hook through it. Any curious bear could get through that in a short while.
So my buttons on my tablet
Mhm.
still don't work. So I decided that maybe I had a setting. Maybe I did something.
Mhm.
So I just used the Linux Mint boot, tried to set it all up. They still didn't work. Then there was a program, get what it was, but it would remap keys for you.
Does that look normal to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks normal for
For you.
you.
Well, but you know, it says participants 5 has their names on the right.
Yeah,
Invite, unmute. It looks like an unmute these people over here.
I think that's probably an unmute for you, not an unmute for the people. You're muted.
Invite.
Well, everybody should be able to invite.
See,
more
this is
people.
the screen I'm used to right here. And these, but not this.
Wait, you just turned the participation So you can see the participant.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So,
So there's a thing called XEV. Um, and it stands for X event. And it shows mouse movements and mouse clicks and tells you what it is, running from a terminal, so you can see that obviously. But for buttons, it took, and it just started up my on-screen keyboard, and that there's no way to turn that off. But whatever.
but it worked.
But you want the mouse to be in that when you push them. But that was key code 157. Go away. Oh, man. Key code 36. That was the enter, and that's press and release.
Okay.
And
XEV.
and it's already installed if you have X.
Well, I will try that. I did not know that that was a thing. But there's a program that will remap keys apparently. And I can get the rotate button to show up in the remapper. But I can't get A1 or A2 to show up in the remapper.
And that's weird because my rotate button doesn't show up because it's tied directly to hardware. It isn't talking to the OS and telling it don't rotate. It's turning off the gyroscope or whatever.
Mine Intel virtual keys or Intel virtual keyboard. And I had verified that that is what the keys are because I turned it off. I disabled it, and I can't even hit the Windows button now. It just completely stops. And I turn it back on. The Windows key.
Intel virtual keys. I'll have to look that up. Mine
Keyboard. Intel virtual keyboard.
Okay.
And it's event 15 or code 15, X input 15. If you do the list, at least on my machine, it's 15. Apparently, it reassigns itself depending on the machine. But so with the mapper thing that I found, if I turn off the virtual keys, rotate doesn't work in the virtual keys. I'm like, okay, so that's the thing, but to me, it looks like there's 3 keys that would be virtual. There's A1, A2, and the rotate. The volume keys look like and the window key looks like it would be a normal, ordinary, everyday key. Except the window key stops working when I turn the virtual keyboard off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, that makes sense to you.
Well, that's disabling all of them. So
I've never had a problem with the volume keys or the Windows keys. It's always the X2 or A2, A1, and the rotate. Except for that one time where it actually worked until I rebooted the machine. And then it stopped working. So maybe XEV will give me some clue about what it's doing.
Have you been making your changes in keyboard?
Yes.
Okay. Because that always seems to work right for me.
Do X input list and see what your inputs are.
Dash.
Just
Dash
no.
L.
I think it's just list.
Yeah, it is. I'll be darned.
Intel virtual buttons. So you got the same thing. So I'm pretty sure mine says keyboard, but
No, mine is the Intel HID 5-button array.
interesting.
That's not it.
So I've got this too. I've got the AT translated set too.
That's this.
I've got the virtual buttons. Maybe mine does say virtual buttons. I've got the X core, which I can't disable. If I try to disable it, it sends all kinds of error messages. I don't,
Hilarious. It's 17 things.
all
I don't have a thing one, so I have 16.
all virtual. For a lot of it's virtual.
Yeah. Huh.
But so the thing is you've got the same Intel virtual keypad that I have, but it works for you, which makes no bloody sense unless I've just got a hardware issue. I mean, we know mine doesn't have sound, so there could be something disconnected in there. The joys of buying a used tablet.
Yeah.
So
Did
I'm
you
not-
say you're using Linux to run the tablet?
yeah. Yeah, and Steve got me to put cinnamon on it instead of mint or mate, which fixed a lot of issues I was having. But it didn't fix the virtual keys.
So I just assigned these two keys. And it just, I mean, they're just there. Well, sure they were. Yep. It was zoom in.
I mean, I did the same thing. That's exactly.
It zooms both. I thought it would only do the text.
That's exactly what I did. Before.
And it doesn't
Well,
see when you double click on it and then you push a button and it doesn't say.
it worked one time. Yeah, I mean, it worked until I rebooted, and when I rebooted, it stopped working.
Oh.
And it's not that it's like I said, I was going under the theory that I had messed a setting up somewhere, so I booted a live CD up, and I couldn't get them to work in the live CD either.
So what it saved for that, for the zoom in and zoom out, was Alt super equals and Alt super minus. It shows up as 3-button combination.
I don't know.
I still can't get numbers to it.
Well, that's something. My cameras work. My cameras work in Mate though, so
Turn that off.
I went.
Was that an Android tablet or what before you put Linux on it?
No, it's a i5 quad core. The heck of a tablet. No, it's a dual core. I don't know. It's a Panasonic.
Okay.
I
have read stuff about when you run Linux on a tablet, it can get kind of flaky.
Yeah, but cinnamon fixed most of the flake.
Okay.
I'm considering putting Mint Debian edition on this thing.
Like
So
Mate.
you run is it Mate or Mate or
Mate didn't have the screen flip, and I wrote scripts to do it, but Cinnamon, once you turn on screen flip, it works.
Yeah, why it's disabled.
Why it's disabled, who
I know
knows?
why it's disabled by default. I had something, I don't remember what, but the screen was always upside down.
Because it
Oh,
always thought it was rotated.
Yeah.
So, Mate, when I was in this orientation with Mate, the bottom half of the screen would be missing. You could still use it. It was still there, but it was torn. Like screen tearing was bad. The screen is better, but if you're doing a lot of scrolling, you still
Yeah.
see the tearing. So,
Yeah, with this monitor vertical, it just is.
but you know, Cinnamon seemed to fix a lot of the problems. It's got a keyboard touch or a finger touch, and I hated it, so I turned that off. Then I got rid of my scripts, and now I have to turn it off every time I reboot.
But so it doesn't detect your finger, but it does detect the pen.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It shows
I'm
up.
really curious how they get the button on your pen to work. Because I don't have one of those.
Actually, the finger touch might be enabled because I rebooted it. I've got
Ty turning that off to one of your buttons.
if my buttons work, that would be great.
Yeah, that is a much better onboard keyboard. Messes me up that it follows from half an inch away.
See the Panasonic support, I've turned that on and off a half a dozen times. I don't know what that does. I don't know what this one is. I think no, this one's the finger touch. But my cameras show up as input devices. Makes sense.
Ooh,
Rotate.
wait, that did something. Or not, never mind.
I think people are showing up.
Nothing.
Oh, yeah, we got 2 minutes.
Weird.
There may be a hardware problem because you know the sound has never worked on this thing, which I knew when I bought it,
Okay, we
but it
better,
tells me there's some
we better
hardware
button
issue.
up. Buttercup.
Yeah, we're almost done, or almost whatever. It's time to go.
What?
They told us the tech wasn't working. I'm glad it's working again.
Yeah, they got the lights fixed.
I'll see you guys.
Saw everybody on the screen.
Who are you guys anyway?
I'll see you guys next week.
Street book group.
okay.
All right. Bye.
Book group.
Book.